Would you like to flash up our guys, which we didn't get to
Sure.
before the draft? We have our guys at each position. So let's do Zach first. It's Zach Day.
Nah, it's not Zach Day.
At quarterback. Well, you take us through.
Okay, yeah. So at quarterback here, and the reason I'm looking to my left is because the TV's on the left here. Michael Penix Jr., who clearly was Terry Fontenot's quarterback as well. But also there were word that a few other teams were interested in trading up, including the Saints for him. Braylon Allen is the running back that I really like. I talked about him, the youngest player in this draft. Big physical back, probably doesn't run with the same power or the power you would like to see for someone his size. But I also think that I liked his first 2 years at Wisconsin. They had a coaching change last year, ran a little differently, more out of the shotgun. Now, he would run out of the shotgun here, but I think if you're just looking at talent, I really like Braylon Allen. Troy Franklin, I've gone on record about Troy Franklin. He checks a lot of boxes for me in terms of size, speed, production. The knock on him is that he's on the slighter side, but he had 18 catches, or I'm sorry, 8 catches of 40-plus yards last year. I saw him running past people at 178 pounds. Jared Wiley, who I think is an underrated tight end here. I think he can be a part of he can push to be a starting tight end places and can certainly be a good number 2 tight end. TCU, transferred from Texas. Blake Fisher. I've been all over the Blake Fisher train throughout this pre-draft process. Blake Fisher was a day one starter at Notre Dame at left tackle. He got hurt. Joe Alt took over. They moved him to right tackle. Every Blake Fisher evaluation seems to be including Joe Alt in there. If you just look at him from an isolated perspective, 6'6", 310. He's got good feet. I think there's a player there that you can mold. He's on the younger side. He's been consistent at right tackle. I think that could be a steal. Tanner Bortolini, just from an athletic perspective, really like him, can play 3 spots on the offensive line. I don't want to compare anyone to Jason Kelsey, but when you see him move in space, it's rare for that size, or it's rare for that position. Mohamed Kamara, Bo would call him an old. You know what I would call him? Tough as nails, okay? This guy's from Newark, New Jersey. He gets after it.
Good food city.
Hobby's Deli, actually. Really like Hobby's Deli. Had great meals there with Andy McCullough and Matt Gelb a number of times. So, shout out to Hobby's Deli and Mark Carrig and Mike Garofolo and Jenny Rentas, Connor Orr, so many people from the Star Ledger. We had a loaded staff back then. I don't want to leave anyone out. Mike Vorkunov. There's so many good people back then. So Mohamed Kamara can absolutely get after the quarterback. He's going to be 24, 25 this year. But if you're looking at it from a 4-year deal as a situational pass rusher, you can do a lot worse as your 4th edge rusher. Mason Smith's kind of on the other end of the spectrum. Mason Smith is all tools. 6'6", 310, I think. I think I said that for Blake Fisher, but Mason Smith is around that. I think he had like 5 or 6 D-line coaches in his time at LSU. Never really had consistency. Was a big-time recruit. Was real productive as a freshman. Got hurt as a sophomore. Going into the year, if you look at Dane Brugler's early mock drafts that comes out after the draft, was expected to be a first-round pick. I think he has tools that can be developed there. Linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. What more do I need to say? St. Joe's Prep. That way. Okay? Yes. And I just think he has instincts. He reminds me a lot of Nakobe Dean, and I'd like Nakobe Dean coming out of Georgia. He doesn't have the size, doesn't have the speed, but he can flat out play. My favorite guy in the draft is the cornerback on this list, Mike Sainristil, or Mikey Sainristil, I should say. You win with players like Mike Sainristil. He just makes winning plays. He did it for the national champions. He was the best defensive player on the national. What are you laughing at?
You are on such a heater.
He was the best defensive player on the national championship team. Okay, he's getting knocked for his size. He's played this position for like 2-3 years. And the instincts are off the charts. The toughness is off the charts. Like, you win with guys like him. I'm pounding the table for Mikey Sainristil. Okay? Kalen Bullock at safety. Kalen Bullock plays like a cornerback. I think I said on the show, we had Devin Jackson in here sitting right where Rich is. And I said, you know what? If you like Andre Waters, if you like Wes Hopkins, you will not like Kalen Bullock. But if you like the way football was played in 2024, where you want a safety who has range. This guy can run sideline to sideline. He covers like a corner. Okay, 6'3", 190. He makes plays on the ball. You hear the energy in my voice because these are guys that I would pound the table for, okay? That's why they are Zach's guys. Yes.
Wow. Zach. Let's get in the chat. Welcome.
We all silly like the mayor.